right, where are we going today? Today we're going to go and do a survey using Don Casey's book, Inspecting the Aging Sailboat. We're going to go do a survey of a Cape Dory 28 that is here in town. Or, well, not here, but it's outside of Pueblo. So I got about a 2-hour drive ahead of me if I could find the place. It's at a summer camp. From the pictures, it looks like it's in really good shape. He wants $8,000 for it, but which seems like a lot for such a small boat, but not really, not in such good condition. And the Sailing Frenchman, he had a 28-foot boat that he paid only a bottle of beer for, right? But then over a 3-year refit, he ended up spending $17,000. So I feel like he may not have done that very well. But first, hi, can I get a grande mocha? Cape Dory 28, and we're going to do the Don Casey 30-minute boat survey, which is kind of at the end of the book, and I'm just going to get started on that. So looks like we're going to start with the hull. Step 1, keep the side of your face just clear of the top sides. Walk quickly around the hull. You're looking for irregularities in the surface, bumps, flat, hard spots, damage. Also watch the flow of hull to deck joint for signs of separation. There's a little bit of slight cracking here in the gel coat that's down through to where the rudder is connected to the keel. And that's a nice keel mounted rudder, nice big surface area rudder, protected from grounding. That full blue water keel. I mean, it's just the lead behind this, but there's definitely some cracking and a little bit of grinding to be had down over here on the keel. Looking down here where hull becomes keel, it just seems like there's a little bit of doesn't look like it's been hit too many times. There's a little bit of repair work here. This hull's in really good shape. Boy, it's solid as it can be. Really nice. Speed indicator. Looks to be free of debris and functional. Looks like it might have had a little fairing compound, a little bit of repair work done here. Looks like it's flaking off a little bit right there. That's gonna. In fact, you can see kind of a whole repair right here. That had to be ground down and looked at right there. It's not a great repair, at least the gel coat's not. This one looks like an addition to the boat. Not too sure, that might be just a have to figure out which one that is. Some chickens. Did you see the size of them chickens? This one looks like it's been plugged. It's been moved. Wow. Beautiful.
If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, if you're not into yoga, if you have half a brain.
So I'm going to poke through the deck in a minute, but first I wanted to look at checking the joint, the hull to deck joint. And it's all up under everything, and not all of it's very accessible. But it's definitely the inboard flange type. I can get up there and feel that it's the first type in this book. So from inside, look for any signs of past leakage, discoloration, dust, rivulets, etc. Much of the joint may be inaccessible, but sample segments may be observed from the forepeak and the cockpit lockers. So I'm going to do checking the joint 1, 2, and 3. Get up in there. So here in the chain locker, you can see that it's been well cared for and repainted. Right over here is one small rivulet right there in the middle of the frame from a very small leak, but the whole thing looks pretty good. The whole seam looks pretty good. And the tackle also looks like it's in pretty good shape, although there's a little surface rust on the chain, but it's still got lots of life left in it. There's some pitting on the tackle, but this boat has spent the majority, if not all of its life in the freshwater. Nice spot. The chain, where the chain comes through the deck and into the chain locker, it's exposed wood there, so it's a nice spot to check for if it's soaked or not. It's been painted, but overall that wood's pretty hard. It's not wet or mushy. He said it's been sitting on the hard for 2 years now. That looks good. So the bulkheads aren't tabbed onto the deck. The molding is shaped so that it will fit a bulkhead. See? And there's the sealer. It goes all the way down here. But these are tabbed out and the bulkhead is cut to shape and then embedded. That's really cool, I think.
Can you take the toilet challenge? Can you sit on the toilet for this whole song? And at the end you can press the button to flush. How does that sound?
First, are you sitting on the toilet? Oh, great. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Are you sitting on the toilet? See what you can do. Now you're sitting on the toilet. You can do a wee or a poo. Now try it. Do you feel it coming? Any luck? Oh, that's okay.
I sleep in here? No. Not at all.
Kiss me, fat boy.
So at the end of my inspection, I have nothing but good things to say. It passes. There was no major problems of any kind. All the electrical needs updating for sure, but what's there is nice and corrosion free. It needs some updating as far as nav instruments, but not for here in the mountains it doesn't. At 28 feet, it really is as big a boat as you would ever want. Bigger than you would ever want in Colorado. We have some reservoirs, we have a lake or two, but not a major body of water to get out and go sailing on for what this is intended for. This is a blue water boat with a full keel, 3,500 pound keel. So unfortunately for me, it's really too small and too tight for me to move around in. I must have banged my head half a dozen times. I slipped on the little stairs while I was concentrating, trying to get into it. I can't fit in the V-berth at all. And if me and my son are going to be on this boat for any length of time, it really is just too small to circumnavigate the Caribbean on. Now, this is the same size boat that the Sailing Frenchman has. Check out his channel, it's great. And he and his father sailed it across the Atlantic. But my God, they're skinny little Frenchmen, and it's just, there's just no way for us to live comfortably in it, even for a weekend, much less any length of time. So if I'm going to spend the kind of money that I need to spend, now he's asking $8,500 for this boat, and it's worth every penny of $8,500, especially given the amazing condition that it's in from having been built in 1977. It's worth every penny of $8,500. But that would pretty much take up my budget for buying a boat and part of it for refitting. I'm hoping for something bigger that's less expensive, that needs a year's worth of work. This needs a week or two worth of work and it's ready to sail, which would be great if it was big enough for me to sail in, and it's just not. Anyway, thanks to Dean. It was a heck of a nice drive out here, being out, getting to spend the day on his boat, hanging out. You can find this boat on Craigslist in the Colorado Springs area if you're interested in it. Dean's a heck of a nice guy. Like I said, it's a bit of a drive to get out here, but it's a really beautiful spot. And I hope this boat goes to a great owner and somebody deserving and somebody who will use it a lot. And somebody who's smaller than me and skinnier than me. Alright, second-handers, that's it for this boat survey. Thanks for coming on the ride.